Okay, guys, I'm making this video basically on how to try to make anything fun. So this is just a suggested way. It's not the only way. Might not be the way that works for you, but it could be something you can consider when approaching future tasks. It's not just for this year, but when you go into high school, or if you decide to go to uni or TAFE or wherever, and even in a workplace, there's always going to be things that's not in your comfort zone, and that's normally why you're not very enthusiastic about certain tasks. Maybe because it's not in your interest level, or it's something that you're not familiar with, or whatever the reason is why it's not in your comfort zone. There's lots of reasons why. So this is what I kind of did when I was growing up. I figured it out. I figured it out for myself in, I don't know, year 10-ish, I think. And I got it from my dad. My dad's a cleaner. He still is. And growing up, on weeknights and weekends and holidays, I would go with him to help him, because we couldn't really have babysitters and stuff, so we'd go along. My sister and I would go along with my parents, and we'd help them clean. We can do all the easy stuff. Even when we were little kids, when we were like in year 3 and stuff, we could still do things like just wiping the desks or emptying the bins. It's not something that requires special skills, for something like maybe like mopping. I was too little to be able to rinse, to be able to wring that mop dry. I would always be slopping wet if I did it. So yeah. Anyway, I went off a bit off track. Around year 10, I was helping my dad on the holidays. Usually in the holidays, we'd clean these really big places, like a one-off contract thing. So like a school gymnasium, or a huge office building or something. And there was this one time, my dad was cleaning this huge hall somewhere. I don't know, it could have been a scout hall or something, and it required a lot of mopping. So my mother and my father, actually no, it was my mum, my dad, and some of his work. He had some other colleagues at the time who helped him with the company. So it was about 3 or 4 adults, and they were mopping. And he normally gets me and asks me to get a friend and for some extra pocket money on the holidays. And these things will go for 3-4 days. So one of the days was the mopping day before they were going to do the whole polishing. So as they were mopping, what we had to do was to make things more efficient. The adults would do all the mopping because they knew how to do it more efficiently and effectively. And what my friend and I were supposed to do was, every time their buckets got really dirty, the water in the buckets got really dirty, we were supposed to go and refill it and bring it back. So they told us how much of the washing chemical to put in, and then we fill it up with hot water and bring it back. And we'd just be running back and forth. And my dad's not the type of guy to do this, so I was a bit surprised. It's not like I was looking bored, but he just said to me, he knew I liked basketball, so he said, pretend it's training for basketball. You're practicing your sprints, you're practicing your defense, because you have to lower your posture to go down and grab the bucket, and pretend you're getting past defenders. And yeah, and it was really interesting how he put it like that. And then I just thought, I could have easily just thought, as if this is nothing like basketball, and just ignore it and be really give him the attitude like a typical teenager would. But I thought, what, why not? I like basketball and I want to be better at it, so maybe I can use this to my advantage, start killing 2 birds with 1 stone. So I did that, and I don't know if it improved my basketball or not, but I remember it being one of the most it was something memorable, something fun that I did in the holidays. And after, when when we were finished and done with all the cleaning, you get really tired, as you normally do, but it was a satisfying fatigue. Rather, it felt like I just played a game of basketball. Where you're tired, but you're really happy tired. Not like you're tired, but oh, thank goodness that's over kind of tired. I felt like I got something out of it. And it was good because my dad got us to work harder, because my friend who was with us, like, he was also a big basketball player, so we're both, did it in the same way. And we got paid, so that was good. And in the end, we had to have fun. We got to have fun, and we got to just think that we're improving other aspects of our life. And I think this applies to a lot of different tasks. You can use this approach for everything. So an example is right now, I know a lot of people don't want to do this multicultural public speaking competition, but do the same thing. Like, if there's something you're really interested in, see what one of these, if none of these like set topics really grabs your attention or is something you're passionate about. Because if it's something you're passionate about, your speech is going to be great, because people are going to listen, even if the content isn't fantastic and agreeable to everybody. At the end of it all, ultimately you're going to grab everyone's attention because you're passionate about it. Because when you're passionate about something, it shows in your body, shows in the way you speak. You don't sound like a robot, just like regurgitating a memorized talk. It actually sounds like you care, and that makes a huge difference to the listeners. And that's what it is, right? For this task anyway, when you're speaking, you're trying to present your views, and you're trying to, and you want other people to listen to your views and at least be, at least feel a bit of empathy towards it, So, otherwise, what's the point? Besides, just getting marks. So, for me, when I look at these, I could talk about 2 or 3 of them without needing to use external sources, because I do feel passionate about some of these topics. Things like respect and words can hurt and my identity. These things are something that I feel passionate about, and I've got a lot of life experience, I feel, where I can share and, give a really engaging talk on. But if, for example, you didn't feel anything towards these topics, think about an activity that or another topic that you're really passionate about, and see if you can weave aspects of that to be related to one of these topics. For example, my identity, for my identity, or respect, or words can hurt, or multiculturalism online, all these things, global connections. If you play games online, you can link it. You can link your experiences to this. You can link your observations to any of these, because these things happen online when you're playing games. If you're an online gamer, you will undoubtedly, know and understand that you get prejudice and discrimination, and there's bullying, and the type of language and behavior that some of these people online, display. Where does it come from? What's the root of all this, And you can examine that, and even talk about how, if you solve some of these issues, maybe it could grow to the bigger society itself, and maybe you can use some of these things and examine actual societal issues of respect or bullying or identity, and see how that could help develop it and improve on it. When I was in high school, and I did a music course. I did the noob music course. It's called Noob 1 because it's called Music 1. It's for people who didn't study take music as an elective between year 8 and year 10. And that was me. I didn't have any background training. I think I had like a grade 5 equivalent training in classical guitar, but it wasn't like done with like a formal the Music Australian, the AMEB qualified teacher. It was just like a random neighborhood family friend who plays classical guitar and just taught me for some pocket money. But I was about grade 5, so most of the guys who did the continuous music, it was more like they were all like grade 7 and above, and they did music from year 8 to year 10, and they knew how to read music and all the all the musical jargon. But anyway, for that course for our HSC, we had to do at least one composition, one speech, and one performance. And for the speech one, I hated doing speech. It's again coming back to this public speaking one. I hated doing speech, and there was one about technology and music, and I didn't know anything about technology music. I didn't know anything about, I listened to a lot of rock, a bit of hip hop, and back then it wasn't the computer music was very new, so I didn't know anything about that kind of stuff. Like hip hop was still about turntables and sampling, and rock and roll, it's guitars, drums, bass, it's all instruments. So what I thought was, I love playing games, so I thought, hang on, what about if I study the development and history of game music? And the research I did for that task and was the most enjoyable thing I've ever done in any of my school life, because I was learning something along the way, and also researching things that I have a huge interest and passion in. And when I did the presentation, I think that was the least nervous I ever felt. And this one was I had to do two. One was a one-on-one with the teacher, and then I had to present it to the class. And normally I am a nervous wreck when I do these kind of things, especially one-on-one. And then you have the class and you have all those judging eyes, although they're not really being judging. A lot of the time they're trying to be supportive. But it was the most enjoyable experience I've had. And I don't know, I don't think I did badly in terms of marks, but I don't even remember the mark, because the thing I remember is the experience, because it was the most enjoyable experience I had for a school topic. And I still remember a lot of the information that I learned from there, because it was something that I was interested in. It wasn't like something you cram for, where you learn for the test and then you forget the next day, or you learn for the speech and then you forget the next day, So it was a really great learning experience, and it stuck with me. So I would like you to, whenever you feel like a task is not very engaging to you, like you don't feel very enthusiastic or motivated to do it, if you feel yourself thinking this way, I want you to try to stop and see if you can somehow turn it around and make it interesting for you. Sometimes it could mean making it harder. I know for the Monty Hall topic, I know some of you guys decided to make a diorama to do the activity. And you know what? At the end of the day, if that makes it more engaging for you, then that's fine. But you still have to be mindful of, the due dates and stuff, because that's still good time management. But if that's how it's going to make it fun, like some people use Minecraft to make things more interesting. And, I'm pretty sure for those of you who did that task, you would agree that when you did it using Minecraft, you were totally engaged in the task. I could see how interested you were in it, how involved and immersed you were in that. And whatever you did from those tasks, you will probably keep remembering it. And that can only be a good thing. So please keep that in mind. I know it was a bit of a ramble and I went off track a lot. I was thinking about editing it and stuff, but I thought, you know what, just don't worry. No need. So anyway, something to keep in mind for next term if you're in this class. If you're an ex-student and you're watching, or if you're a student and you're watching, or whatever, if you're already an adult and you're working and you're watching, try to keep that in mind. Make it more interesting. Make it motivate yourself. Don't expect other people to always encourage you and motivate you. Of course, it'd be optimal if people did, but don't expect it. And if it doesn't happen, don't let that be an excuse and a reason to not try. Give everything a go and make it yours. Make the task yours. Make it fun. Make it enjoyable, and you will always learn something from that. Alright, that's it. I'll see you guys next time.